here and you're hitting.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy Allen for Applied Shotokan. Welcome to the Karate Cabin. Well, our dojos are closed, you probably have no one to train with, and we're left with self-training. So myself and Chris Hanson from Karate Unity are teaming up, and we're going to look at a very simple combination. Gedanbrai Yakuzuki, or your low block reverse punch. I'm going to turn things over to Chris first, see what he has to say, and then I'll share some of my thoughts of my own.
So one way to work it is to do it in reps to ingrain the muscle memory. And I call it working it statically. And there's many ways to do that. So you start off and you make sure you do the technique properly. Cross your hands and go into the technique and throw the punch out. And you can rep that out statically. I say to do that on both sides as well. You can also do it in a line. This way you get to work a bit of your balance. Okay, and you can work backwards. Next way to work it is to throw in different stances and angles. Okay, so the one stance that I showed you was kind of like a 50-50, the horse stance. You can do it in Kiba-dachi or Shiko-dachi. Really doesn't matter. You drop and you punch. You can step off, punch, step off here, step off, turn, step off, shuffle this way. Just work the technique with various stances, and also work your turns. Okay, so when you're doing it, try turning and hitting at the same time. Okay, so the last way you can work the low block middle punch option is on the bag, and this is where, again, it's kind of related to the shadow boxing. You have to be free with this. You can't just do it statically the way you did it in the first phase. Okay, the way you work the bag is going to be depending on your background of training. So the flavors that you're going to see over here is kind of like a boxing, Muay Thai, Silat, JKD, Wing Chunish kind of flavor, and that's because those are the things I've trained before. Here's some options. When you are in close, your range kind of dictates the technique, okay, and your reaction. So because you're really close, you can't pull off anything long. So all of those techniques, this technique here still has validity. For example, on the inside, okay, that crossing motion can be, you know, a strike like this. So you're inside here and bam, you're hitting this, okay? As you're coming across this way, it can be also an elbow, okay? So it's like from here and you're hitting, okay? So slow that down. You're hitting here, you're crossing, you're hitting here, okay? Hitting, elbow. If you have hands in the way, okay, that technique where you're crossing this way here can be kind of like a parry. So your hands are up in tight shell to cover your head. You bring that hand down to parry your hand, okay, and as you're crashing in, this can be a strike too. And you're hitting here. You're hitting, and you just kind of work all your different techniques. These techniques here can be changed up high. Okay, so you can come in, you know, this technique is crossing. So I like to use this as a gunte, a kind of like a scissor type of smash, where you come in and you're hitting up here, okay? Hitting up here, and then you can go across, okay? Or just hit in here and hit, okay? Sometimes I might use that just to shove off, okay? So I'm over here just to create some space to throw some shots. So there you have it, a few ways to work your low block, middle punch, reverse punch, or whatnot technique. Do you have to do it that way? No. I hope that at least one small thing or, sparked an idea, at least for something for you to do. Now we're going to take a look at Andy Allen's take on the same technique.
All right, Chris, thanks very much for that. A lot of great stuff there. I think what I like most is your use of context. Context is key when we're doing Kihon. I'm a big proponent of having a purpose for Kihon. One thing you're doing is lots of fluidity and flow. I like the use of angles, which I'm going to do in here in a second. And I like how you're using, although you didn't mention it specifically, you are using the husband and wife principle. And the applications you're showing is to hit the enemy with every available opportunity, with an elbow, with a punch, as you're chambering for the gedanbrai and then the punch that follows. Great stuff, right? Here's what I have to offer. So back when I was doing 3K karate, my sensei would do a lot of body shifting work. And one thing he would like to do a lot, starting from a natural stance, Shizentai, we would step back and get Anbrai Yakuzuki, and other foot get Anbrai Yakuzuki. We go to the side, same thing, and then we go the long way around. So we pivot on the other foot, pivot on this foot, and step back. And this is the application I'm going to look at today. But we're going to do it from a free stance, like this. Instead of standing yoi like this, we'll go from here. So my front foot is my pivot foot. If we were to train this in a traditional way for Kihon, front foot pivots, pivot 90 degrees, get Anbrai Yakuzuki. Come back up, switch feet, pivot, get Anbrai Yakuzuki, something like that. So for this Kihon combination, we're going to look at two different applications. Both are going to utilize Motobu's husband and wife hands principle. If you're not familiar with that, you should be. Basically, Motobu said, we have two hands and they both have a role. So when we do this in the Shotokan version of Shutoke, or we do a Giranbrai, or an Uchiuke, or an Agyuke, we have two hands and they both serve a purpose. The way the analogy goes is husband and wife hands, we have two people running the household. So someone has to feed the kids, someone has to do the cooking, someone has to clean the kitchen, someone has to do the vacuuming, fix the leaky faucet, clear the snow from the driveway, and so on. Two people work together to run a household, and both these applications I'm going to show you make use of that. All right, drill number one. The pulling hand, the hikite, is going to be used to pull a limb while it strikes the groin, and then this is going to control the limb again and hit the face. If we are already kind of in some kind of confrontation, and this is my partner's right arm, so maybe to reach out to grab, I do a two-touch pass, so I'm like this, okay? Two-touch pass. From there, I grab, I pivot off the center line, and I strike. From there, this hand comes up, and I punch to the head or the body, whatever happens to be open. So if you look at the Motobu's principle there, husband-wife hands, this right hand is saying, I will pull this limb and get him off balance. All right, now, if that's a real person, when their limb gets pulled, what happens is the posture goes forward, the bag doesn't respond appropriately, so we'll have to kind of make do with that. All right, so this hand says, I will pull him off balance. And this hand says, thank you very much, I'll hit him in the groin. Then it says, okay, I've hit, thank you very much, I'm going to clear that arm away from you now. This is my hikite. And this hand says, great, fantastic, I'll punch in the face now. They're working together to accomplish a goal. Capture a limb, get off balance, clear a limb, smash in the face. All right, application number two. It's the exact same sequence. We have the Giranbrai Yakuzuki, getting off line, like this. Also going to use the husband and wife hand principle. So, this time, once I have the arm, I'm going to do an arm bar. So I want to twist as I come this way. When you twist the arm, twist and pull to the side, what happens to the enemy is they get their elbow pointing up. So I apply pressure right there, and I got my arm bar. So I twist, pull aside. Now, if the arm bar works, all is good. If it doesn't work, it's probably because they tucked their elbow in like this. So once they have their elbow tucked in hard, I am not getting that arm bar now. So all we do is our Yakuzuki. And we're going to make use of our hikite as well. So we're here, arm bar is failing. This hand stays here, just cup it over, kind of trap the arm momentarily. Do your Yakuzuki, okay? So it's one, arm bar fails, two. One, arm bar fails, two. Make sure you make contact, always have contact with that limb. I've got to hold a limb, arm bar, don't separate here. Leave this here, now this releases, make your Yakuzuki. So we have number one, come in here, strike the groin, clear, punch. Or we have number two, arm bar fails, trap it, punch.